Welcome to the Looped Lifestyle Podcast, the #1 podcast for diabetics who want to have their cake pop and eat it too. I'm your mentor, Stephanie Johnson. Please welcome our very own member of the Cake Pop crew and graduate of the Have Your Cake Pop and Eat It Too program, Diana Hernandez. She is hosting our Monday Mindset episode. This podcast is recorded live on Instagram. We cover health, wealth, and relationships, the blueprint for transforming your life. So grab a pen and paper, take some notes. I hope you find some value in the information Diana is sharing. Let's get into it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Monday Mindset. For those who are new to today's episode, welcome. For those who joined me in the previous episodes, welcome back. My name is Diana Hernandez, and I'm working with Stephanie Johnson in her program Loop Lifestyle. If you want to learn more, you can follow her at _cranky_pinky, and I'll also make sure I tag her in the comments. So today, I want to talk about staying present. Life can sometimes seem like it's going really fast, and there's other times where time is going by too slow, maybe because we might be eagerly waiting to do the next thing. Like when you have a vacation coming up, time can sometimes go super slow, or when you're having fun, time is going by super fast. So when my husband and I were wedding planning, everyone told us that our wedding day was going to go by really fast. There's others who even told us that they didn't even remember their wedding day because of how fast it went. It was a good warning to know because we both knew that we wanted to do our best to make sure we took in every second and enjoyed each moment. So looking back on our wedding day, it did go by fast. Everyone was right. They weren't joking. But because we knew that was likely going to happen, we both made sure to take a few seconds during each event to soak in the moment to be able to cherish that. So during our ceremony, I remember scanning the crowd because I wanted to take in all of my guests, their faces and their presence. During our photo session, I made sure to intently study my soon-to-be husband's face and be present with the emotions I had as I wanted to remember how I felt. During the reception, I remember that both my husband and I scanned the room and watched how much fun our guests were having as they were dancing on the dance floor. I made sure I took the time to see each person because I wanted to cherish how happy they were and how much fun they were having. I also made sure to be intentional with my thoughts that day, to stay present and to not allow other future or past thoughts to get in the way of me enjoying myself. Another thing is that I have a chronic illness. I have diabetes, and I was trying not to pay attention to what my pump was saying, what my sugars were, because I wanted to just be present, stay in the moment, and not let any intrusive negative thoughts, get in the way of me enjoying, the best day of my life, our wedding. And I know that sometimes it can be hard to stay in the moment. Maybe you're trying to have lunch with a friend, but you're thinking about a big meeting that you have coming up, or maybe you're trying to enjoy a family dinner, but you have a big exam the next day. Maybe you're at work, but you're too busy thinking about the Dodger game later that night, and then you're not able to be as productive as you could have been. So how can you stay present? We need to first find perspective, as that is a foundation on which we build a life where we can be where our feet are. Second, we need to seek authentic feedback. How we live is a choice, or at least for the most part, it can be. What are we going to do? And who are we going to do it with? Those are choices that only we can make. Third is learning to be more grateful for what is right in front of us. Sometimes, a lot of times, maybe you do have an amazing job, but because you're just so busy thinking about other things or things from the past, you're not able to really enjoy the job that you have or the work that's in front of you. Or maybe you are at Disneyland, but you have, something big coming up that's causing a lot of stress. And you're worrying about that, but then you're not able to enjoy what's right in front of you. Like, you're at Disneyland. There's a lot of people, I know a few friends who've never even been to Disneyland, who haven't had the opportunity to go. But here you are at the happiest place on earth. So again, how are you learning to kind of just be there right now? And so how can you just be present in the moment and enjoy that? So third is learning to be more grateful. So what do you stand for? What matters to you? What are your priorities? If you're feeling stuck, we also need to learn to recognize that we have a choice to change our situation. We also need to remember to work through our struggles instead of sweeping them under the rug. I've talked about this before in another previous Monday Mindset episode. It's like that soda bottle that I talked about in that episode, where our life is like a soda bottle. Anything you throw at it, that soda bottle is going to shake. And if you don't allow the pressure by turning that cap a little bit, you don't allow the pressure to get out, that soda bottle is going to explode, right? And so all those emotions that you're trying to stuff inside, trying for them to not get out, is going to erupt into a volcano over the slightest thing. Maybe it was someone spilling coffee on you. Maybe it was that you were walking and you tripped over yourself. Something where other times you might have laughed, maybe not the coffee part, but at least the tripping over yourself part, you might have laughed. This time you started just blurting profanities and everyone's looking at you like you're crazy. But obviously they don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So try not to sweep things under the rug. So you want to run towards the storm instead of away from it. Another thing you can do is finding your center with the help of the people that you care about and who care about you. Sometimes if we are so involved in our thoughts and so involved in what's going to happen and or what didn't happen, sometimes we can isolate and we can tend to be away from the people that we love. So it's, again, learning to be aware of the fact that maybe you're isolating, maybe you're spending too much time alone and you need to reconnect, whether it's going to your parents' house, going to a friend's house, calling a friend, going out for lunch. Because of COVID, a lot of people still don't really want to go out, but there's FaceTime, there's game rooms, there's chat rooms, connecting even with somebody you don't know. Maybe it's a random human being and you have, I don't know, you guys connected on something. Maybe you have the same chronic illness. For example, I am on the diabetes app, and I sometimes on there, I don't have private conversations because I just don't want to do that, but I do post on whatever story they have, or I comment on it, and then it's kind of cool to see what other people are commenting. It's like, oh, cool, we have the same thoughts. So again, learning to connect with the people that love you or that care about you, or again, who share the same interests. Sometimes it's critical to keep in mind when you need to change the race you're running and not shutting down. So remembering that isolation is your kryptonite when things are going badly. Engage with people. And thirdly is what is most important to you, right? When things happen for a reason, sometimes people, places, events will just kind of drop into your life with purpose, Sometimes right now the world seems kind of fast, especially with social media. I'm learning about things super quickly. An example was I think the new COVID mandate about the employees or employers or businesses who had at least 100 employees all needed to be vaccinated. So I kind of knew about it maybe like earlier in the week, last week. And then my sister didn't know about it until Friday. And I told her, and she's like, how did you find out? And I was like, oh, social media. So again, it's really, really fast. So sometimes it's important when there's so much chaos around us, especially right now. There is a lot going on. There's sometimes too much that I have a hard time processing, especially 9/11 was just yesterday or just 2 days ago. The whole California governor recall, what's going on in Afghanistan, what's going on everywhere, right? There's just a lot of chaos. So sometimes when there's a lot of chaos, we need to find calm. We need to kind of just explore ourselves, what's within us, whether that's returning to church or returning just to prayer, or if you're not religious and you're more spiritual, doing some yoga or doing some meditating, running, or anything else that's going to help you find your level of peace, increase your sense of calmness, and again, help you to be a little bit more centered. Another thing is remembering that, I don't really like to use the word failure. I just feel like it's too final, I don't really know another word. I just don't like using the word failure, but remembering that when something happens that it doesn't go the way you want it, knowing that that's not you. That's not all of it, right? It's just a part of you. And it's remembering that when something like that happens, we grow from it. We may not understand. We may not know at that moment, we're going to gain from it or how we're going to grow. But I guarantee you, if you look back at all the hard moments in your life, you learn something about it, whether it was an inner strength, whether it was about who you can count on, whether about it's who are your real friends. It can be anything. So remember, it's better to be a student and just learn from anything that you've accomplished in the past or anything that you weren't able to accomplish. Also, I know in social media, it's really hard to compare yourself. I know I'm guilty of it. So it's remembering to stop comparing yourself to other people and just open yourself up to others and learn from them, right? So a lot of the times, at least the people that I follow, they're not perfect. They're not picture perfect. I want to follow accounts that are real like me. And, I do follow a lot of people in the diabetes community, and there are some people who post perfect numbers all the time. And I'm like, how is that possible? Like, I'm sure their numbers are not that perfect. And if they are, they're 1 in a million maybe. So I don't really like to follow them. I prefer following people who show the good numbers and who show the bad numbers, because that's what I experience. And it almost gives me a sense of regularity and normalcy, because it's like, okay, cool. I'm not the only one that's struggling. But yeah, stop trying to prove yourself. Stop trying to, prove yourself to others, and just begin to express yourself, and be curious about the world and be interested versus be interesting. Also, just always assume positive intent from those with whom you connect, no matter what other assumptions are possible, because we often have judgments about people, what they're thinking, what their intentions are. And sometimes those judgments or preconceived notions tend to be really negative, but they're also sometimes can be very clouded and at worst really wrong. And that can always impact our ability to be effective. So what I always try to do is give people the benefit of the doubt until proven otherwise. It's like innocent until proven guilty. You never know what anyone else is going through. And so when you meet somebody and you're wanting to stay in the moment, turn off your thoughts in a way and just stay present and just, okay, let's just have a conversation. Let's just get to know them. And who knows? Can't judge a book by its cover, just like you can't judge a person by its face. There's a lot of people out there who have resting bitch face. And then you talk to them, they're like, oh my God, that person's actually super cool. And you could have missed out on that awesome friendship because of the way they look or because of what you preconceived or what you thought of them before having a conversation. So always make sure to give people benefit of the doubt and don't judge people by just the way they look or what other people have said. I know it's not the same, but movies. I love movies. I love watching them. And there's a lot of times where people have said, oh, that movie sucked or that movie's not good. Don't waste your money on it. I'm going to go. I'm going to still watch it because I want to know what my own opinion is, right? I'm going to be able to be like, oh, actually, I like that movie. It was actually kind of cool. Or it was cheesy, but I like cheesy. So same thing. And last but not least, just trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the moment that you're in. Good or bad, negative, positive, happy or sad. Just trust the process. We are so involved by instant gratification and so obsessed with the now that sometimes we can't commit to things that are long term, right? Or wanting that so much that we're not able to enjoy the process or we get frustrated with the process. That's something that I struggle with a lot. I do one workout and I expect to see abs, or I do a week of working out and I expect to have lost 10 pounds, but that's not the case. That's not going to happen. I have to learn to trust the process. I've been swimming for the last month now. And I personally don't think I've lost any weight, but that's neither here or there. I know it's going to happen. There's a lot of other changes that I need to make, specifically around food, before I'm going to see any results. So instead of focusing on, I'm doing swimming because I want to lose weight, now I tell myself, okay, Dana, you're going to swim because you're going to sleep better at night, because it always brings me a sense of peace and calm. I talked about this before, my previous Monday Mindset episodes, where at my work, I deal a lot with clients. As a supervisor, I deal a lot with dissatisfied and disgruntled clients. And so I need to be always kind of having those conversations of problem solving and being doing supervisory duties. But when I swim, I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't have to think about anything. I can literally just stay in the moment and just be present with my strokes, with the way my feet are kicking, with how I'm breathing. So it allows me to kind of just put anything else aside and just think about how warm the water is. Usually it's cold. How cold the water is, or just how my body feels in the water. If I kick a certain way, what does that do? If I move my arms a certain way, what is that going to do? Am I going to go faster? Am I going slower? Is it, so again, it helps me to block out any other thoughts, any other situations or problems that happened that day. I'm able to just kind of block all that out and just focus on swimming. So in all, in tying it obviously all back to staying in the moment, I think that's something that you need to find to do. Find something that is not only going to be productive, because Netflix is not productive. I know I used to do that all the time. I still do sometimes, but Netflix, we can use it as a way to distract ourselves. But if we have other goals or other priorities or other intentions that we want to set, ask yourself, is Netflix going to do that for me? You can stay in the moment and think about that Netflix episode, think about that show or that movie, and that's fine. But again, I've also, in swimming, we go swimming for about an hour, my husband and I, and that's like a movie or an episode on Netflix, or 2 episodes if you're watching a 30-minute show. But then I feel productive. I feel productive doing swimming versus just sitting in bed watching Netflix. So I hope that that's Monday Mindset helps you to just helps you to learn how to be a little bit more present, be more in the moment. Again, looking at what it's in front of you and really being grateful for that. Knowing that, if you have a lot of work duties, be present with your lunch. I take honor in being intentional with my lunch time. I have really good boundaries at work where this is my lunch. This is my 1 hour. Obviously, as a supervisor, I am going to get phone calls. I'm going to get emails. And if it's a certain phone call from a certain somebody that is important, obviously, I'm going to take that call. But if I'm like, no, I can wait, or they can wait, or I'll answer, I'm like, they'll know I'm on my lunch. And then I'm like, hey, are you on your lunch? I was like, yeah. Okay, cool. I'll call you back. All right, awesome. So as a supervisor, as a person in general who's in the workforce, it's really important to take your breaks. Really important to be intentional with your breaks, be intentional with your lunch. If sometimes I like to watch a Netflix episode, that way I can kind of just not shut out everything else and just focus on that episode to kind of give me a sense of like, okay, I'm just going to take my time watching this and enjoying this, and then I'll get back to work. So again, do your best to stay in the moment, stay present, be in the good, be in the sad. There's a lot of strength that comes from being able to face the storm and face your demons. And it's okay if you can't do it alone. There's a lot of times that we won't be able to do it alone. We don't know how. We don't know how to how to close a Pandora's box if it's open, but there's always something or someone out there that is going to help, whether it's seeking professional help, whether it's finding something that's going to help you block out everything. For example, my swimming for me, whether it's working out, going running, going for a walk, taking your dogs for a walk, whatever it is, talking to a friend, going to lunch and just telling your friend, I had a shitty day today. Don't ask me about work. Let's talk about something else, So do that. And I really hope you guys enjoyed today's Monday Mindset episode. And I wish you all the best. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I appreciate you very much. If you love this episode, please take a screenshot and share it on your social media. Tag me at the_cranky_panky for Instagram and at @thecrankypanky for Facebook. You can find the application for mentoring at the link in my Instagram bio at the_cranky_panky. Get your application in, we'll have a chat and see if the Have Your Cake Pop and Eat It Too program is right for you. Until next time, stay in the loop.